This is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Thorn SHY036. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing my Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, and Greg was wearing my Christopher Ward C60 Trident 300 Pro. Greg said that former Chancellor Valerian has dropped out of the race for Chancellor, and his party has replaced him with Wrecker from the Bad Batch. Wrecker's platform is to clobber corruption, injure injustice, and to stomp stupidity. Gregory told him his platform seems very illiterate. He said illiterate goes a long way. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this hard plastic case. I really like these cases. They really protect the watch, and they stack so nicely on the shelf. But here it is. Isn't that a good looking watch? I think they did a great job with this watch. It's just about perfect. I really like this watch. So if you want this watch, go get it. Don't even watch my review. This is the second Thorn on my channel. Thorn is obviously the thorn of a rose because a rose is the symbol of Tudor, and Thorn started out making Tudor homages. The last Thorn I reviewed was the BB58 homage. Thorn has expanded and is homaging many other brands and models such as the Blancpain 50 Fathoms. But I'm a sucker for Tudor, so I chose this one, which is an homage to the Pelagos 39mm. Although thankfully, unlike Tudor, they make it in blue. The Pelagos 39mm is Tudor's acknowledgement that people may like the looks of the Pelagos, but not everyone wants a 42mm 500-meter diver on the wrist. The Chinese AliExpress verse has really embraced the 39 when they about completely ignored the 42. I have already reviewed very well done models from Octopus and Ixtal. This Thorn is a worthy addition and is more affordable, being $175, where the other two were over $200. This watch comes in 3 different colorways. If you don't like the blue, and I can't figure out why you wouldn't, you can get one in black with either white hands and markers or Fotina hands and markers. Personally, when it comes to Pelagos, I prefer a modern look and much prefer the white, and they can leave the Fotina for the BB58s and such. The watch is 39mm at the bezel, 44mm lug to lug with inverted end link, so that's a really short lug to lug. It's only 12.2mm thick, has a 20mm lug width, and it tapers down to 16, and only weighs 94 grams on the supplied bracelet with 2 links removed, because this watch is made of solid titanium, and man, that's light. The bezel is a ceramic 120 click unidirectional. The action is not the best. It's not horrible action, but the clicks just don't give you the sense of confidence I think you should get. But once again, it's not horrible. It's just not excellent either. But the bezel looks really nice, and it's a fully loomed bezel. You'll see in the test later. And then we have the dial. We do have a sunburst effect. A real Pelagos doesn't do sunburst, but hey, it looks nice though. I think I prefer the shade of blue, though, they use on a real Pelagos. And then on the top, we have Thorn, and then we have the Thorn logo. Then on the bottom, it says 200 meters, 660 feet in red, and then it says automatic exploration road. So I don't know where they got the term exploration road from, but oh well, I guess I'll take it. Then we have the Rehat chapter ring with the minute markers, and then we have the indices, and they're fully loomed with no metal border, but they are applied. And then we have the hands, and we have these really nice fence post minute hands, snowflake hour hand, and snowflake second hand, and they are also loomed, and very well loomed indeed. And there's no date on the watch, and there is a date on the movement though, so we get a ghost date. A real 39mm Tudor doesn't have a date either, but the 42 does. And personally, I wish they had a date. I just prefer having a date. And yes, I know it ruins the look of the watch, whatever, but they could have put one right there at the 430 and still kept the really cool indices. Then we have the crown. The crown, I think, is actually steel. I don't think this is a titanium crown, but that's fine. The thread action's fine. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. Pops nicely. Then when you go to thread it back in, sometimes you miss, sometimes you don't, but it's good. The trouble is, it's a PT5000, and the PT5000, as well as the other 2824 clones out there, they're just really hard to wind. So when you go to thread it back down, you're winding the watch too. You just feel that resistance there. Then we have the crystal. The crystal's flat. It's a sapphire. I tested it, and I think it has air coating because it's doing a pretty good job of not reflecting. And then we have the case. The case is titanium. We got brushed sides and tops. We got this polished chamfered edge. And it's really good case. They kept it really small. So this watch wears really small considering it's a 39 millimeter. And then we have the case back. The case back is a coin edge with no writing. You'll need a 29.5 millimeter tool to open it. I checked. Underneath the case back is the PT5000 movement. This is a Chinese clone of the ETA 2824. And it's a 4 hertz movement that hand winds hacks. It has a bidirectional rotor. And I think 25 joules. At least, because a 2824 has 25 joules, but a Solita SW200 has 26. But I'm pretty sure this one has 25, but I don't think anybody cares. So let's go ahead and put it on the time grapher and see how it's doing. Well, look at that. That watch is running just about perfect. It's running 0, really healthy amplitude, and only 0.3 milliseconds beat error. So the beat error is really the only issue. But when it's running 0, I don't care if it has 0.2 or 0.3 milliseconds of beat error. This movement is running awesome. So I'm assuming that Thorn must regulate them at the factory when they put the watch together. Really pleased with this. The bracelet is a 3-link oyster style with solid inverted end links, and everything's brushed. This is titanium. To me, titanium just looks better brushed. And look at that though. Do you see any screw pins? Do you see any push pins? I don't see any either. And at first I thought they sent me a bad one, but no, that's not the case. Watch this. This is kind of cool. See, this is how you adjust the bracelet. These little side links come out. So you can adjust the bracelet without any tools. So here, let me show you a link up close from one I removed. So yeah, see? And you pull out the right side. So that's really neat. So the only thing though, they didn't really mention this in the ad. So I had no clue about this. I had to look for YouTube videos on how to adjust the bracelet. I was just thinking they sent me a bad one. So that's great. Then we have the clasp. The clasp is signed. We have 4 holes to micro adjust. And we have a milled scissor. No on-the-fly adjustment, though. It would have been nice to have some on-the-fly, but then again, you can't have everything. Here is the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. It wears nice. Look how flat it wears. So, and it's super light. Has a nice wrist roll. This is really very well finished titanium. I removed 2 links to fit on my wrist though. So 8 1/4 is probably the best you're going to do without needing more links. And hopefully Thorn will give you more links because their links are special. You can't just get them anywhere. Here we are in the loom room, just wearing the watch for review purposes. I knew the loom was awesome, so I have really high hopes for this test. As we speed up the time, all I can say is wow, we got a good burst of BGW9. According to the ad copy, you'll get green C3 with the Fotina model. The weakest thing on the watch are the bezel numerals, but since bezel loom is kind of a bonus anyway, who cares? Especially when you can still see the bezel markers. This is first-rate loom indeed. Just for comparison purposes, here it is against my Tag Heuer Aqua Racer. As you can see, it is keeping up quite nicely, and the only thing keeping the tag ahead is that super strong minute hand. What I like about this watch, the looks and the wearability, excellent loom, and toolless bracelet adjustment. Plus it's titanium. I just love titanium. What are my grapes and groans? The bezel action is not the best. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just not the best. I have to have some grapes and groans. And there's no date on the watch. Yes, I know the real Tudor 39mm doesn't have a date either, but I just wish they would have put a date right there at the 430. Color matched, of course. Do I recommend this watch? Of course. This is easily one of the best watches I've ever reviewed. And if you're a fan of the Pelagos 39, then this one will make you very happy. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Thorn SHY039, and I'll be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link, and I'll get a small commission. But those small commissions do add up. And when those commissions add up enough, I will cash them in and get me a squally 1521 to review on this channel. Bye.